Lutnick spoke at a conference in Toronto where, behind closed doors, he reportedly told the audience that when it comes to the auto sector, it's America first, Canada second. Ontario Premier Doug Ford heard that full speech, saying it was clear Washington wants Canadian car assembly operations moved to the U.S.
In a striking remark, Lutnick hinted that it may be time for American car manufacturers to move their production lines further south, a move that could shake the entire North American automotive ecosystem, which has bound Canada and the United States together for decades. Yet another warning from Washington. This time it came from Donald Trump's Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick. He stated bluntly that when it comes to the economy, the United States has only one priority: its own auto industry. Everything else comes second.
I would say it's a massive threat when you have the Secretary of Commerce coming out and saying that, and the President. You'd only say it if the President gave him the green light. So we have to be prepared.
Once again, a storm brews from Washington. This time, the message came loud and clear from Donald Trump's Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick. In blunt terms, he declared, when it comes to the economy, America has one priority: its own auto industry. Everything else, a distant second. And in a striking statement, Lutnick hinted it might be time for American car makers to move their production lines further south, a decision that could shake the North American automotive alliance that's bound Canada and the U.S. together for generations. Speaking at a closed-door conference in Toronto, Lutnick didn't hold back. He reportedly told attendees that when it comes to cars, it's America first, Canada second. Ontario Premier Doug Ford, who heard the full speech, said the message couldn't be clearer. Washington wants Canadian car assembly moved to the U.S. It's a massive threat, Ford said. A Secretary of Commerce wouldn't say that unless the President gave him the green light. For Canada, that's more than just tough talk. It's a direct warning shot. While Washington flexes with fiery words, something quieter and perhaps more strategic is unfolding in Ottawa. China's ambassador to Canada has made a surprising offer. Beijing will remove all tariff on Canadian canola if Canada eliminates its tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles. Two nations, two very different strategies, one with pressure, the other with persuasion. Now Ottawa stands at a crossroads: follow Washington's orders or act in Canada's own national interest. Make no mistake, Howard Lutnick's words were not offhand remarks. Every sentence was a signal. Under Trump's leadership, Canada is no longer seen as a partner, but as a competitor. The U.S. intends to reclaim full control over its manufacturing, even if that means dismantling the cross-border supply chain that powered both economies for decades. Premier Doug Ford called it a genuine threat, and he's right. This isn't diplomacy, it's economic warfare, plain and simple. So here's the question. Why does Canada still cling to U.S.-style tariffs on Chinese EVs, a policy that hurts our farmers, our consumers, and our industries? As Tom Mulcair once put it, this problem wasn't of Canada's making. We copied it, not out of reason, but out of political loyalty. China's message is clear. Lift your EV tariffs and we'll lift ours on your agriculture. A simple trade, one that could save billions. Rewind. A year ago, before Trump's re-election, Canada agreed to follow Washington's lead, imposing a 100% tariff on Chinese EVs. The motive, not strategy, but loyalty. The Americans were afraid of Chinese affordable and high-quality electric vehicles, so we joined their fight. And what did we get in return? Threats, attacks, talk of making Canada the 51st state. Then came Beijing's retaliation, tariffs on canola, striking directly at Western farmers. It was Canada's loyalty that ended up costing Canada its livelihood. Trump's tariffs triggered a domino effect. Ottawa's eagerness to follow suit backfired fast. China hit back at our agriculture, cutting off a market worth billions. Mulcair was right again. America always acts in its own interest. Each time Canada imitates U.S. policy, we're the ones left paying the bill. The promise of equal partnership has collapsed into dependence. And now, as Trump's administration threatens to reclaim its auto industry, Canada faces a harsh truth. The friendship is over, the rivalry has begun. Now enters China's ambassador to Canada, Wang Di, speaking directly and unapologetically. Yes, he said, China's tariffs on Canadian agriculture are a countermeasure to your EV tariffs. He added, if Canada removes its unjustified tariffs on Chinese EVs, China will reciprocate and lift its tariffs on Canadian products. No threats, no bluster, just a clear offer, a chance to reopen billion-dollar markets for Canadian farmers while making modern electric vehicles more accessible to consumers. This isn't about taking sides between superpowers. It's about choosing ourselves. If Canada lifts these tariffs, it can rebuild agriculture, attract EV investment, and redefine its role in global trade, not as a follower, but as a nation that leads with reason, innovation, and self-respect. So, what do you think? Should Canada keep copying Washington's playbook or start writing its own? Like, comment, and subscribe, because the next story might just be the next chapter in Canada's economic future.